Reports say Ben Roethlisberger will no longer be doing his weekly radio show this season for a local Pittsburgh station. Big Ben often made national headlines from what he said during that show, including, of course, that criticism of Antonio Brown that eventually led to the star receiver's departure. No formal announcement has been made yet, but the station did announce they will have the James Conner show this season. So, Shannon, what does this tell you?
Skip, I think he's trying to win some points with his teammates. Skip, there's an old saying that says people will change for two main reasons. Their minds have been opened or their hearts have been broken. I don't believe Ben is heartbroken that AB and Le'Veon is no longer there. But maybe his mind has been opened that I can't say some of the things that I say publicly. I can't be so blatantly and outwardly critical of my teammates. I guess he thinks this is a part of the leadership that he needs to expand upon and show growth.
Yep.
But Skip, just because you don't have a radio show doesn't mean you can't say dumb things publicly.
True.
And he started this. He started what he said about AB after the game in Denver, in James Washington, because that was really kind of what started. That started earlier in the season, Skip. You remember what? Maybe it was when Antonio, I think it was the second game of the season, when he was throwing the water cooler all on the field because Ben went throwing him the ball in Baltimore, and then he came back next week and he had a big game. Threw him like 20 balls, he caught like 16 or 17. But for me, this was more of a ploy, Skip. I mean, it's not like it's taken away from film study. It's not like Ben has to do something. Skip, we see Tom Brady does a radio show.
He does.
It's a call-in. You spend 10, 15 minutes. They don't ask you any questions, hard questions, because if they ask you hard questions, guess what? They're not going to be working for that radio station because people tune in to hear what the player is going to have to say. WWEI, I mean, didn't they get rid of the guy that asked Tom Brady he said that Tom Brady's daughter was a brat or something like that?
Yep.
He's no longer there. So the questions are really nothing. But maybe Ben thinks this is a part of growth that he needs to show leadership and to show that, I get it. But Skip, I mean, just because you don't have a radio show doesn't mean you can't say dumb things.
Nope.
So hopefully he's learned his lesson from this and he can grow and it'll be a plus for him.
Will you acknowledge some growth in Ben Roethlisberger at age 37?
I'll see once the season starts.
Okay, that's fair.
To hear him talk.
All right. To me, I see some growth. I at least see a 37-year-old quarterback who's trying to do the righter thing. This is a little big deal, but still a pretty significant deal. Another small positive step toward trying to become a better leader. Do I think you can just snap your fingers and say, I'm going to be the leader? No, you can't. You're pretty much born with whatever you're made of. But I think in small ways, you can get a little better at being the face of the franchise and not the leader, but a leader in the locker room. And I think, what was your expression about mind open, heart broken?
Yeah.
Okay.
Even the mind
was his heart broken? No, but it was hurt a little bit because he took his fair share of
rightfully so.
criticism.
Rightfully so.
He did, rightfully so. And he said to Michelle Tafoya last Sunday night on NBC, I regret what I said publicly. So to say, I'm not going to do the radio show, at least it's saying I'm going to try to save myself from myself. Because you get on there, you kick back with the phone up, whatever, if that's how he does it.
Yeah, it's call in.
Yeah, you just call in.
Yeah.
And he's not at the studio, obviously. And you start shooting from the lip. And if you're in a bad mood or you're over-emotional from what just happened the day before, you're going to say, Antonio just ran the wrong route. He broke it off, whatever, Or James Washington's just a kid. He hadn't figured out how to do this or that. I still say that he believes James Washington is poised to have a breakout year 2 for the Steelers. And that Juju already showed you last year, I think he can fill the shoes in a different way that Antonio left.
Okay.
Is he better than it? No, he's not. But is he pretty good? I think he's real good. And I think Vance McDonald he's pretty good, right?
I
agree. That would be high praise coming from you.
I do.
And then you've got Moncrief, and you got little Ryan Switzer, and you got Eli Rogers, and then you got 3 running backs James Conner and Jalen Samuels and Benny Snell. They're pretty good.
Yeah.
That's a pretty good trio to have. So you got weapons, and you've acknowledged the offensive line. Is it top?
Oh yeah, they
3?
They got it. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, you look at them. You look at the Cowboys, the Colts, the Eagles. Steelers. They're top 5 offensive line.
Okay. And I still say Devin Bush was the steal of the first round of the draft, and he will become the leader and driving force of a defense that did tie for the lead in sacks last year. I don't know. I think they're going to be pretty good. I think they're going to be a little better than Cleveland in that division. Okay. And I think they're going to be a little bit of a surprise team because I think a lot of people say, no AB, no Le'Veon. You're just not going to be what you used to be. You've lost too much star power.
I still think they can move the ball because they still have Ben. And no matter what you think of him, he's a great leader. He's a poor leader. He's an okay leader. He is still a great football player. He still can make plays. The question I've always had, and I've had it over the last 5 or 6 years, the defense. Can their defense? That's what lets them down, Skip. You see, they played Kansas City. They played New England. And even though they beat New England last year, it's their inability to get off the field, create turnovers when they absolutely need to. So that's going to be a telltale. But I think this offense wants to prove, not just Ben, but I think Juju wants to prove, okay, yeah, I can replace Le'Veon.
I mean, believe he does too.
I believe James Conner's like, yeah, I got 1,000 yards last year.
He was showing you that last year.
And the offensive line is like, we're more than those 2 players.
Yep.
So I agree with you. I believe this offense will be good. And they're going to go out of their way to make sure. Because they want to send a message to the guys that are no longer in that locker room, as well as win games. Because at the end of the day, you send a message, but you want to win games. And they want to show that we can win games, get to the playoffs without 2 of the better players at their position in the NFL.
Okay. And I also think Mike Tomlin, I'm not going to say he's on a hot seat because they love him and they're going to.
Well, they just gave him another year extension. They're tied to Ben.
But still, does he need to have a bounce back year as the leader of that team as the head coach? Yeah, he does.
Well, I think he got guys now. I mean, AB was on his own thing, doing his own thing. And Coach Tomlin let that get out of hand.
He did.
I don't really think Le'Veon was like he wanted to get paid. I don't really think, like I said, without being there, AB, you just know. You can just look at me late for meetings and games. I got to do what's best for me. Le'Veon wanted his money. I don't really think Le'Veon would have been a problem. They'd given him his money. I believe he'd have been a model citizen. But that didn't happen. He's at the Jets now. Hopefully he's happy. Hopefully everyone is happy, Skip, with their situation. Ben is the unquestioned leader in that locker room. Le'Veon got his money. He's in New York. AB got his money. He's in Oakland. Shouldn't everybody be happy? Shouldn't this be like a happy, the end?
I think Ben's really happy.
Yeah.
I do.
Well, that's what he's saying. For some reason, he got a little extra pep in his step, and you don't know why. You don't know why he got extra pep in his step at 37.
See, that's where you got to edit yourself. You don't need to take those little shots.
Yeah. So you don't saw. Was that on the radio, or did he do that?
He said that to reporters.
Yeah, exactly. That's my thing. You don't really need to be on the radio to say dumb things.
Okay, so I'm going to say one thing that you may say is dumb, but I'm on record with this. Ben Roethlisberger is my dark horse pick to win the MVP. Obviously, Patrick Mahomes has the world at his fingertips. He's got Andy Reid trying to do everything in Andy Reid's power to make him another MVP, right? So he should be the odds-on favorite, but I think Ben has enough weapons and enough motivation to say, watch this.
But it's hard, Skip. It's hard for them preseason, those early pick for the MVPs. And Heisman, whatever else, it's hard to win that because that's a lot of pressure.
It is.
That's a lot of pressure on Mahomes. I mean, the second-year guy goes 50 and 5,000, and to come back and follow that up. I mean, I don't know if he'll ever do 50 and 5,000, but he's going to be in the 40s a lot as far as touchdown passes, Skip.
It's going to be hard to beat him for that award. Now, how far his team will go is a whole nother.
Well, if they've gotten better defensively, with Honey Badger, I believe they've upgraded the safety position. And Frank Clark, I believe he's a slight.
Somebody across from me is angling toward picking Kansas City to win the AFC this year.
I might.
Yeah, I can just hear it in your voice.
Well, we already know who you're going to pick.
Chalk. Okay. Yeah. Chalk? Yeah. Well, you always pick against the chalk.
Because, I mean, look. But I tell you what, I know who's going to win the NFC East. They're very comfortable.
So do I. 2 of the last 3, I know who won.
No, y'all not coming out. Y'all not coming out the conference. Y'all not coming out the division or the conference. So you can just shut that down right now.
All right, James Conner's radio show starts September 9th as he unofficially replaces Ben Roethlisberger.
James Conner or Big Ben? James
Still
Conner,
to come. Did Trevor Lawrence hurt his Heisman hopes last night? It's good to talk college football again. We'll discuss when we come back.